It's 822, a Big 550 KTRS. This man runs a conference in which there's only one team in America that is undefeated, untied, and truly a number one seed. And he is the commissioner for the conference in Wichita State belongs to. Ladies and gentlemen, he's mythical in his stature. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Elgin, Missouri Valley Conference Commissioner. Doug, good to hear your voice, Doug.
Hey, you flatter me, McGraw. Great to be with you today. How are you?
Great. You and I have been doing this for years. Let's get right to it. Wichita State and the Missouri Valley Conference gets zero respect, and yet Wichita State came within inches of going to the final game last year, and they're the only undefeated team this year.
That's true, and it's a little bit puzzling. There's been a deluge of coverage, obviously, of the Shockers. There's a fascination with an unbeaten team, and I thought Mike Lupica on the Sports Reporters got it right yesterday when he said, "Hey, what's wrong with people? They passed the eye test. Look what they did in the tournament last year. They beat Pittsburgh, LaSalle, Ohio State, Gonzaga." And, in the national semis, they were up on Louisville by 12 points in the second half and coulda, shoulda, maybe won the game. So what's the problem? And I agree. I think it's just about the branding. It's about the name on the jersey. And people don't normally think of Wichita State as an elite program, but it is an elite program, and it is a team that can win the national championship.
You've been in that room when they pick teams and strength of schedule and RPI and who plays who. Wichita State and the Missouri Valley Conference and some of those quote-unquote secondary conferences have proven that all of those things mean absolutely nothing.
That's true. And, you look back over the last, since George Mason kind of, broke the seal in 2006 and became a so-called mid-major, the first since Larry Bird and Indiana State went in 1979. Butler's gone twice. VCU went the same year Butler went in 2010, and Wichita State went. So I really do think that with the one-and-dones, with the fact that guys leave early for the NBA from some of the high major programs, it's leveled the playing surface a little bit, and I think what you have is a much more open tournament. That's why this tournament is the greatest sporting event in America, and why so many people are intrigued with the brackets and with the Cinderella factor that's in the event.
Yeah, you talk about Butler. They lost to Duke in that championship game by a point, I think, a point or two. So, I mean, it wasn't like they got to the game and then were blown out. Some of these college football teams, get to the Orange Bowl, then they lose, 52-7. When they're on the stage, they're there. They win. They lose by a point. So they've definitely held their own in these quote unquote big games.
Oh, absolutely. If the shot Gordon Hayward made took in the final second of that championship game had gone in, that would have been the all-time moment in sports history, I think. It would have been a half-court shot to win the national championship by the Hoosier team in Indiana against the mighty Duke Blue Devils. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But, anyway, your point is well taken.
As well, it always should be. So another big week here in St. Louis, and another big week for the conference. Tell us about the tournament coming up.
Well, our tournament is a Thursday to Sunday format. It opens up on Thursday night with Drake and Evansville playing for the right to meet Wichita State. Bradley and Loyola, the new member of the league coming in, Loyola, playing in the nightcap on Thursday. Friday are the quarterfinals, and there is a hoops hooky promotion out there in the marketplace. We are giving all the downtown employees of all the downtown companies permission to take off the afternoon and come over to Scott Trade Center for our tournament. But the heart of the tournament does start Friday with 4 games. Wichita State playing in the first game against Drake Evansville winner. Missouri State, Illinois State in the later game in the afternoon on Friday, and then the night session has Indiana State playing the winners from Bradley Loyola on Thursday. Northern Iowa plays Southern Illinois, and SIU, of course, will be a local favorite with Barry Hinson and the season that he's had of personal tragedy and the rant that he had, and the fact that he has totally turned around that basketball team. They're 9-9. The Salukis are on fire, one of the hottest teams behind Wichita State in the league. and a team that sold out the SIU Arena for their final senior night game against Illinois State. So it should be, it really does look to be a great tournament. We know we're going to have really good crowds. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com or by getting on our website, archmadness.com.
The nice thing about the Mo Valley Conference is that all of these teams travel, and they travel here to St. Louis, and they spend lots of money here in St. Louis, don't they?
They do. The St. Louis Business Journal has listed the Missouri Valley among the top 5 conventions of all kinds of conventions in St. Louis based on room nights that are used. And we do take over downtown St. Louis. It's a wonderful event. A lot of always good sportsmanship among our fans, and usually what you see there. I go into the tournament sometimes thinking, I wonder how our teams are going to play, and I leave saying, wow, we've got NCAA tournament caliber teams out there. They play at such a high level, and it's really, when you look back over all the pageantry and all the fine touches of our tournament, the thing that's made our tournament great are the student athletes. They play great basketball. They go on to heroic upsets in the NCAA tournament in many years, and they have raised the level of play in our league with the showcase event that we have every year here in St. Louis.
And there's a little bit of history this year with Wichita State coming in. Now, here's another question for you, Doug Elgin. I know you've worked miracles, but how did you find Sunday? The Mo Valley Conference Championship game is going to be heard right here on the Big 550 KTRS. Martin Kilcoyne and Frank Cusimano on the call. How did you find a broadcast booth big enough for both of their heads?
Well, I'll tell you what, they are both local legends. Let's face it, they really are. They do bring basketball expertise. Frank was a high school legend here playing hoops, and Martin is just he's just a big personality. And no, we're, in all honesty, a kid. We look forward to it. They are two people who know us well, and we're thrilled to be on the network, on the station, and carrying our games. Carrying our championship game on Sunday.
Yeah. Now, what day are you telling people they are allowed to play hooky in downtown St. Louis?
It's Friday afternoon. It's the now famous hoops hooky afternoon session, and a lot of local businessmen go out to lunch, and it's just an extended lunch. That's all it is, and they come back in on Monday. So we do look forward to that promotion. That always brings 1,000 or more people. And we have a lot of discount programs out in the marketplace. You can find those going on the archmadness.com website. And really and truly, I kid, but our tournament is, I think, a really good bargain in sports ticketing. I think people will find that the prices are reasonable, and the basketball is intense. And going back to the earlier discussion about the NCAA tournament coming here in March, we could see the Billikens, Kansas, Creighton, and Wichita, any or all of those teams at SkyTrade Center March 21 and 23. There are tickets still available, lower bowl tickets and upper bowl tickets, and I think people that wait until Selection Sunday to make the call to buy those tickets, it might be left out in the cold if they don't move on those quickly. You're going to see some local teams of interest in the region, and I do think that those tickets will sell out very quickly.
Yeah, good point. The second and third rounds, March 21st and 23rd here in St. Louis. You can buy those tickets at the Valley website, can't you?
Your best call there is to go on ncaa.com for your tickets. You can get there from the Valley website, but it's a couple of steps extra.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Doug Elgin, one of the great points of light here in St. Louis. Doug, good to hear your voice. Have a good week.
Thanks, McGraw. Appreciate it.
You got it. Doug Elgin, ladies and gentlemen, Mo Valley Conference Commissioner, starts this week. I knew somebody who was in a high-priced law firm would run down to the bar every 15 minutes so they could watch the game and then run back up to their office and continue working. I will not mention the person or the law office because I want to protect the guilty. But that Hooky Friday or Friday Hook Day might not be a bad idea for those who are working and playing downtown. 8:30.